What's up, YouTube? You know me by now. You know my quest for this car, this track build, is to lighten it. So remove the hood, and the reason we did that was because we found a steal deal on a trade / a little bit of money on top carbon fiber hood. As you can see, this thing is a beat up. So what we're going to be doing is sanding it down. I'm probably going to need like 400 or 300, but you can see the remnants of what looks to be a good hood. So hopefully we can bring this thing back to life. In terms of weight reduction, this hood in its current state with nothing on it is about 18 pounds. The stock hood is almost 40 pounds. I weighed it was about 39 pounds. So it's about 20-pound weight reduction. We still have to put the scoops and vent on, but I'll be ordering CF ones of those, probably like a pound, maybe a little bit over. So we're going to lose about 20 pounds with this hood. It's so much lighter, and probably, honestly, a hood strut, because I have struts that hold the hood up. They won't, if I leave both on, it'll just throw the hood up when I lift it up, so I'll probably take one of those off. It came with, again, it was beat up, so these are stock hood scoop and vents, but the backing plates, strangely, are carbon fiber. I don't need this because I don't have a top mount intercooler, so that's going away. I may use one of these, but that's really cool if those are carbon fiber. But I already have a carbon fiber trunk. It is, I mean, they're not too much lighter than stock, and I have a carbon fiber S201 mirror, so I have more carbon fiber than I want to. Let's show the trunk look like. But the crazy part is, see, this is a Vis Racing carbon fiber trunk, and the wing is an RB5 carbon fiber wing. So what I may be doing is the previous owner of the wing, you can see in the dip right there, there's a clear line. So this is actually underneath, this is white. He painted over this white, and then this part is carbon fiber. So what I may be doing, you see the line there, I may rip the dip at that line to show this carbon fiber here. The reason I painted all of it was because this was just destroyed. It looked like that, only worse, and there were some holes in it for hood pins, so I had to fill in holes, so I couldn't really, even if I corrected it, it wouldn't look great. But the spoiler top looked great. So this is carbon fiber, it's carbon fiber, that's carbon fiber, those are carbon fiber. I typically don't go for carbon fiber, just because it's expensive in most cases to do, but I will say all of this, the hood, the trunk, the wing, and the mirrors cost me less than $800 in total for all that. So it was too good of a deal to pass up for, and a hood. So I mean, but I purchased this stuff over time. It wasn't all in one purchase that I found this stuff. So we'll start on the hood. Digressed a lot, but we'll start on the hood here. Just wanted to show the beginning stages of it. We'll put it out, start sanding it, and then we're going to eventually clear coat it and kind of go from there. The other issue that I would have to fix with this, which should be fun, is one of these holes, that one right there. They broke a bolt off in it, which is going to be fun. That's going to be a fun one. So cleaning it up, again, the back looks great. Cleaning it up, and then let's see how good we can make this thing look. Okay, so got everything set up here. Already tried like hand sanding a little bit with just 400 grit, and it looks like that's gonna do what I needed to do. I did wet sand this. You can clearly see the difference on that small section there. I didn't even fully clean it. I just, kind of wiped it off after I was done. So 400 will definitely do some work. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the sander here. Definitely, mask up, because this stuff is terrible. The fibers can get in your skin and on you can just inhale them. So I'm going to put on gloves and kind of go over just that same section, maybe a little bit around it with the 400 with the sander, and see what kind of damage it'll do, and then kind of go from there. Okay, so went back to 320, 240 or 320 will do about the same, but I have more 320. So I actually started hand sanding as opposed to using the sander. Probably tell I'm out of breath because I'm very old and out of shape. But I did about half the hood, try to split it kind of in half. And then you can see it looks pretty, you can tell the difference stuff I didn't do and did. But if we spray it off, again, when it's wet, you'll be able to see what it's going to look like with a clear coat applied. So, get it all wet. Let's get the sandpaper off there. Get the sandpaper off. And it'll actually help show imperfections as well. So, you can kind of see one right there that I need to still sand. But for the most part, and up here, see right there where I'm spraying. There's some spots up here. It's kind of hard to see. If I wet this other side as well, you can clearly see what I've done. See I'm going this way. I wet this whole thing, it's not changing. That's what it would look like with clear on it. And this is what this would look like with clear on it. So much better. I think we're going to be able to rock this with, with no plastic dip on it. But time will tell. Still have a lot more sanding to do. But about halfway done. A little bit more. So again, 320. I'm hand sanding it. You can use a sander. I just find it easier. I can apply, the correct force, and there's a little bit of grooves and stuff like that. So for the most part, I'm just using the sander. Okay, so got the hood pretty much done in terms of hitting it all with about the 320 and 400 area. It looks actually pretty good. Trying to get it in the sun. This is it wet again, so I still have to probably gonna hit it up with at least like an 800. Got more. There's some dirt coming down from the trees and stuff, but for the most part, it looks really good. There's some spots like this one. I don't know if I can sand that out. Not like a huge issue. Can't really see it from further away, but when you get up close. And then the other thing is little pieces like this. I can feel that that's smooth. But it's kind of like almost like cracking underneath. So not a huge issue. But either way, looking good. I'll hit it up with 800 and then kind of go from there. But crazy transformation. Dog's out here to help ingest some carbon fiber. This is after hitting it up with 1500. Just wet sanded it. It looks really good. Don't get me wrong, this isn't show quality. This is going to be, I'm going to let it dry, and then I have to hit it with, probably a 2K clear. But compared to what it did look like, this is just an amazing transformation. We'll let it dry. I may hit it up again with a 1500, just a quick wet sand. And then we'll kind of go from there. But yeah, you can definitely do a lot. A lot of people, you don't want to go. You saw this hood when it started. Obviously, you can see the beginning. It was bad, very, very bad. And this is probably a cheaper, shittier carbon fiber hood, if I'm being honest. So I would say most people shouldn't start off with like a 320, maybe a 600 or even a 400. 320 is pretty recent. I would say 600 and try and see what you can do. 600 just wasn't even making a dent. So 320 and 400. 320 was where I kind of settled. Probably could have gone to 240, being honest, 20, but I didn't. So here we are right here, just letting it catch all that dirt. It's pretty windy out today, and then we'll let it dry, and then we'll see how it looks from there. Okay, YouTube. So I just stepped out of the painting booth. I did not record the first step. So I left off at the 1500, just wet sand, then I dried it, and then I put some isopropyl alcohol on it, and just kind of rubbed it down. Then I said, fuck it. It's not going to be perfect anyway. I'll just use the clear that I have, rather than waiting on like 2K clear. I'll show you the clear that I do have. There's just like some touch-up clear. Low VOC clear. It's not like anything crazy. Again, if it doesn't come out right, I can sand it and do it again. But this is the first coat. I'm letting it dry. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect, but it looks pretty good. Again, I will need, this is the first very light coat. So I'll need to really build this up. You can see like still like some spots that I kind of missed in terms of like spraying. I'm going to dry a little bit longer. and just breathing in all this fucking, all these chemicals. All right, I'll update and check. Okay, so don't be like me. I tried to rush it, and I used, again, 2 coats of that just clear coat I had laying around, and I was going to go buy some more clear tomorrow and then spray it, but I realized after looking it up that you have to spray all of it kind of at once. You can't wait. You're going to have to, spray it all together, or, sand it down again so it'll adhere. So I had to kind of rush out and I just got some rust. This is like pretty generic Rust-Oleum 2X Ultra Cover Gloss Clear. This is not 2K clear. This is not going to be that shiny. It's not going to be the best for UV. My car doesn't see a lot of UV. 1, we're in Seattle, and 2, it stays in the garage most of its life. So even if it was, it doesn't matter. But I'll show you what it looks like now. It's still very wet. I just got done spraying it. Hold on. It's still very wet. It's literally soaking wet since I just sprayed it. We're going to let it dry for 24 hours. But again, this is 4 coats. 2 of the shitty one, if you will, and then 2 of the Rust-Oleum. See, still a little spot right there. Not too concerning. Again, this is not supposed to be a show paint job, but it looks really good from kind of where it started. Again, let that dry. I'm keeping it at a balmy 65 in there, or 70, just so it can cure properly. And tomorrow we'll go see how it looks, and then probably hit it with some like 2,000 or 1,500, and then maybe just buff it and see how it looks from there. Maybe I won't need to do any of that, but I'll look at it tomorrow and see how it cures. But okay, so let it dry for about 2 hours. It's able to be like handled, obviously, so I moved it. I'm not touching it. I'm just moving it to get the car inside the garage. But looks pretty good. There's runs, not like bad runs or drips, but it definitely needs to be sanded. Look closely. It's just kind of orange peely. That's pretty much the extent of it. I need to get out the orange peel. When I say runs, that's really what I mean. There's no real runs or drips, just orange peel. So next step would be to probably hit it up with some 2,000 or 1,500, and then kind of go from there. But really happy with how this turned out. This right now was a $250 investment. For the hood was $250, and then I already had some clear, but I had to go buy some other clear, as you saw. That was like about $15. I had everything else, so it pays to have some things, obviously, some tools and stuff like that. But this was pretty cheap, and for what I got for $250, again, it looks really good on the car too. I still need to do a few things. Need to obviously get the scoops, which I'm debating whether I'm going to use I have other scoops and just wrap them with carbon fiber, or get carbon fiber scoops. And then I need to pull the rest of the plastic dip off the middle of the wing. So you can see that is carbon fiber as well. I think that'll really flow better. Comparing this to this, though, that's like a different kind of little bit more gray, I guess. Not too big of a deal. I mean, obviously you can see a little bit of a difference, but nothing crazy. And again, this passes the 2-foot test, if not the 5 or the 10-foot test. Pretty easy. So really liking the way it's turning out, but we'll keep looking at it. Okay, so update where we are right now. We left off. I let it cure for about 2 days after painting it with that shitty clear coat. I don't recommend using this clear. Again, I'm just doing it kind of cheaply and mainly being impatient. Kind of worst case scenario, if it doesn't look good at the end, I'll buy another clear. It's not a huge issue. It's a learning experience. I don't recommend using that clear. I'm going to see if I can make it work though. Again, this car is a track build, is not a daily driver, doesn't see a lot of sunshine. This is how it looks. Pretty, again, this is after curing for almost 2 days. You can definitely see some orange peel in it, but again, we've come a long way with the hood. Ignore the hole there. I'm drilling out, or I drilled out. These are like the hood pins. They're pretty cool, actually. They're like a button. So it's kind of like sits recessed. And then the wing that we have, started peeling that before. The wing, I just peeled the plasti dip off in like a line right here. This is all carbon fiber, but I just wanted the middle. And then I sprayed that with the same shitty clear. So this has been sitting for over a day too. And I will do that after this. But we'll start with this. What we're going to do is we are going to, you can see it's kind of set up for it with the tarp. I'm going to start sanding. I have some polishing compound. We're going to do that too. But I'm going to start off with, this is 2000 grit. So I'm going to start doing some wet sanding with 2000 grit. Kind of go from there. We'll put this right here. And just see how this handles the 2000. It's probably not going to like it very much. But we'll start way up here. You want to be kind of soft on the edges. Maybe in a swirling motion. And we'll see how this kind of looks after we give it just a little bit of 2000. Again, 2000 grit. You don't, especially with the shitty clear coat, you don't want to use a lot of, or a really coarse sandpaper. So I'm just going to give it some 2000, see if it takes away the orange peel, see how it looks. You want it to be kind of all dull at the end. It should all look dull. See how this looks. Okay. Should look pretty dull. Just tapping it. So you can clearly see the orange peel. You want it to be all one dull kind of take there. So see, this is a little bit, oh, it's just wet still. So we'll get it all. I'm going to get it all uniform. I'm not going to show the entire sanding process, but 2000 looks to be like what we can use here. I could step it up to a 1500. I'm probably going to stick with 2000, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so nearly halfway done. Decided to go with a 1500 as opposed to 2000. 2000 was just taking a little bit too much time. And then I'm going to go back up to 2000, probably, or maybe 2500 before I do the actual polish. So you can see half the hood is pretty much done. Not all the way, but you can see for the most part, you want it to be one solid, like basically dull piece. So you can see there's some high spots in some areas. I can even feel them. That's where the orange peel is. Over here especially more high spots, but the majority of it is done. I'll have to go of this side. I'll have to go through, and you can see the difference. These are both dry. So that's kind of what you're going to be working with. I'll hit these high spots and then do this other side, and then we'll go from. Okay, so went with 1500 throughout, then went lightly over it with 2000. You can see it does not look good. Well, it's not supposed to at this point, right? What we're going to do is we're going to use the polisher here. We're going to use this guy. And then I'm going to use this polish right here. Meguiar's Ultra Pro Speed Compound. I'm going to start up here, kind of go through. The reason I used 1500 and 2000 was this Meguiar's here will cut through up to 1200 and lighter, like kind of scratches. So that should definitely cut through the 2000 here and kind of shine it up real good. If I go around here, you can see, you're going to see, the camera's picking it up, little high spots here or there. The reason I didn't get every single high spot, you want to go through and get every single high spot, is again, this is cheap clear, very cheap clear. And also, I didn't want to go so far down there was no clear left. I did do 4 coats of the clear, and it is supposed to be 2x. But I didn't want to risk it. And again, this isn't show quality. The car's plasti dipped, for Christ's sake. So I'm not trying to get it like, oh my God, you look at this and it's so unbelievable. I do want to get it looking good. we're going to try to get it looking pretty good, but I just didn't want to take too much more off. For the most part, everything is sanded down now. So let's hit it with the rotary, and then we'll kind of go from there. So first hit with the Ultra Pro Speed Compound. You can see the hood here. Obviously, the shine has been restored big time. There's still imperfections, but you can see this side right here I haven't done yet, this last quarter, if you will. And I still need to do a little bit of work over here. There's some spots that I can get some high edges up, but this is like a heavy cut, extra heavy cut compound. So it's going to do a lot of damage. Then after that, we're going to go with, I have a polish over here. It's a mess, just a complete polish to kind of make it shine a little bit more. I may not even do that because it's already, for my standard, pretty shiny. The car's plasti dipped, so you can see that, I mean, it doesn't need to be this unbelievably 10 out of 10 show car quality. From what we came from to where we are now, it looks amazing. So my wife is holding the camera there. We're going to just show quickly how I actually applied the compound. I've used this buffer, including this time here, once. So this is brand new to me, kind of just showing people how to do it as well. Seen things online, dab it a few times, put some here, and then I'm running this at about the lowest setting, which is about between, on this, it doesn't give an exact RPM readout, between 800 and 1200 RPM. You want to go easy on the edges and apply most of the pressure if it spins this way in this area right here. So let's go ahead and turn it on. I'm just getting covered with it. You don't want to go too hard, and you don't want to go for too long of a time. You do want to check it periodically to see how hot the hood and the clear coat's getting. You don't want to burn through. And you want to go very easy on the edges as well. But you can clearly see the shine that's being restored rather quickly, actually, with this heavy cut compound. I'll finish up this small section here, then we'll wipe it off so you can kind of see. Again, I'm sure there's going to be people online probably correcting this. There's probably a better approach to this. This is my first time doing this. I'm not really a show car kind of guy. As you can see, I'm more of a function over form. Got this mainly for the weight reduction, not for how beautiful it's going to look, but it is going to look pretty good. I'm not going to lie to you there. It is going to look pretty good. So we'll wipe this down with this microfiber just to kind of get it. You can see still a little bit maybe of haziness, but nothing that, even if I stopped here, you can see the spot's a little bit hazy, but for the most part, nice and shiny. You can tell if I stopped here and just went with the polish would remove most of that haziness that's left. So I'm going to continue getting this last spot here, and then we will go with the polish. Kind of go from there. Okay, so went through it all with the Ultra Speed Compound. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use this complete polish. I already put some on and tried it. This is kind of like I forgot to say, this was just an orange foam pad. You can buy it like AutoZone. It's like a medium, if you will. And then this is going to be a fine coarse pad, or a fine pad that came with the setup I have. Pretty fine stuff. And then I'm going to use this, again, cheap stuff from, it's not too cheap, but complete polish from AutoZone. We're going to try to polish it and see how good we can get it to look. Okay, so I burned through the clear coat and I got to redo it. Just joking. Came out good. Looks really good. Little blemishes here or there, but nothing that, everything I can live with. If I had to do this again, what would I do differently? Me, nothing. For most people, you can see the orange peel has kind of gone, the reflection of the light is much better. It looks a lot shinier, a lot better. What would I do differently? I wouldn't do much. The only thing really is I didn't want to invest a lot of money into this, besides the purchase of the hood. And I did end up buying, like, I had a polisher from before, but it was only like $30. This thing's like $30. Like, again, I'm not going to be using this a lot, so I didn't really want to go crazy on that. And then the compounds are fucking expensive. This compound was like $30, and that one was like 15. This one was like $40, and this one was like $15. So I mean, that was like the polishing aspect of it was like $100, which is almost like half the price of the hood it was itself. So all said, about a $350 job for me. I still have to put the other hole on the other side for the other hood pin. But it looks so good. I mean, I don't know if the camera's really picking it up that well. You're going to look at it and probably like, oh, I see all these little like specks and blemish. Oh my God, you should have seen it before, first off. Second off, compared to what it is now, this is not a fucking show car. Like, again, this is going to be by far the shiniest thing on it. I kind of want to dull it a little bit. By far the shiniest. The only thing left to do is to maybe do this one now. So the wing, I used the same clear on it. I'll probably just maybe just take some polish on it, maybe not touch it at all. I'm not really too concerned with that right here, but and the garage is a fucking pigsty. So I need scoops and vents. I can use the ones I do have. I had some like old carbon fucking wrap laying around that I used to wrap that real quick because I didn't really give a shit. That's probably going to go on there now. It doesn't really match the same color, as you can kind of see. Very different. But, I mean, that was what I had lying around. What I'll probably end up doing is buying scoops off eBay or just taking the wrap off that, painting them black or something like that. But I'll probably get some carbon fiber scoops. Probably reverse scoop because I have a front mount and don't need it. So, all said, all done here. Again, do not, I'll end the video with this. Do not use this. This clear worked well for me. I'll see how long it lasts. I went like 4 or 5 coats deep on it. I would not recommend using this clear. It was like $4.50 a can. There's no way it's going to last a long time. But my car doesn't see really any like sun because in the garage 6 days a week. And one of those days I may drive it, and I'm in Seattle, so it doesn't see a lot of sun. And it's just not outside a lot. So I'm not too concerned with it. But you can get good results for a very cheap amount. Looks very good.